In the summer of 2021, Kayla and I started to make the move into mountaineering by starting glacier travel and snow climbing. The summer had been tough, with a failed attempt of Carthew and Alderson in early May, not even making it to Alderson Lake. A failed attempt of Mount Hood in Kananaskis in late May, turning back about 50 vertical meters shy of the summit. And a failed attempt of Joffrey in June, not even making it to Astor Lake. But we had some successes too. In later June, we did Gordon and St. Nicholas, and then 4 days later, we did Mount Hector. In early July, we went out to the Purcell Mountains and climbed Alpha Centauri and North Star. We were ambitious though, perhaps too much, and on July 11th, 2021, year 2 of the COVID, with Hector and Alpha Centauri and North Star being our most difficult mountaineering objectives we completed, we set out to climb the Sharktooth, the heart of the Rockies, the tallest mountain entirely in Banff National Park, Mount Forbes. Mount Forbes is a huge undertaking, with more than 60 kilometers distance, for which more than 40 are not on a trail, and more than 3,000 meters of elevation gain. The route finding is tough, the bushwhacking is grueling, the river crossing long, and the mountain itself features a difficult serac field and 40-ish degree snow or ice on the face. But with some ambition and perhaps overconfidence, we set out from the Glacier Lake trailhead.
Okay, it's 12/27, was it July 9th, year 2 of the COVID, which is 2021, and oh my gosh, the bugs. Kayla and I are at the Glacier Lake trailhead on the Icefields Parkway, and we're just gonna start heading out now. We are going to make an attempt on Mount Forbes over the next 4 days. Lots of haze. And Glacier Lake's over in there, so that's the way we need to go. Not good. Kayla and I have entered the marshy section. I think we're just gonna get completely soaked. I might actually change shoes. There is a lot of ice in this area.
Getting over this.
Well, yes. Progress is slow. There's a lot of deadfall, and now we are in swampier sections again. In terms of understanding where we are completely lost. Bush covering the trail is very dense. It's 8:33 p.m. right now, July 9th, year 2 of the COVID, which is 2021. We are camping at the lake underneath the Lyell ice field, and boy, that is some crazy seracs. We're on the move again, start of day 2, leaving the lake at the bottom of the Lyell ice field on the backside of the lake now. Oh my gosh, I'm getting wet. The current is strong. This bushwhacking is not good. The forest has widened, but there's so much deadfall now. It has lately started to rain. Here comes Kayla on some very difficult ledges. Just about at the base of the head wall. Yeah, there.
Our trip out to the Icefields Parkway that July was another to add to the sizable and growing list of failed attempts that summer. We were in over our heads. We clearly did not do our homework to the level that we needed to, and we were not as mentally tough as we had to be as well. We spent 3 tough days out in the wilderness and just barely glimpsed the mountain that we were supposed to climb, while standing a good 1,600 meters below the summit. This mountain kicked our asses. Over the rest of that summer and the following summer, we would improve upon our execution of the lengthy mountaineering trip, putting up notable summits of Mount Brazeau in 3 days, Gannett Peak in Wyoming in 4 days, Granite Peak in Montana in 3 days, and Bonnet Peak and others in 5 days. We were enjoying our success, but Forbes lingered in the back of our minds. We knew that someday we would go back. With difficult work schedules in the summer of 2023, it looked like the Canada Day long weekend may be our only chance for a big trip over the summer. When decent weather forecasts and Kayla begging for a day off fell into line, we were ready to finish our business in the Glacier Lake area.
Getting ready to start Mount Forbes. How can we go? What do you think, Clay? That's the face of a man who's confident in our ability to succeed.
It's a bit unreal that we're back here. It's already hopefully better than last time. Last time we heard a big avalanche right before we started. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. It's 11:02 a.m. June 30th, 2023, year 4 of the COVID. Kayla and I are at the Glacier Lake Trailhead. We're at 4,700 feet right now.
Are you camping there?
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks. You too. We are a solid 7,000 feet below the summit of Mount Forbes right now.
It's gonna be so easy.
And yeah, this is attempt number 2. Hoping we're gonna be successful on this one. We've got roughly 20 kilometers in today. 9 kilometers on trail. Some bushwhacking. Shouldn't be horrible. We haven't heard any avalanches yet, so that's already better than last time. 8.9 kilometers to Glacier Lake. All right, first back break at the Saskatchewan River. Murchison, I believe. Looks pretty nice. We're into the shit part of it.
Well,
Just
this is the boring.
boring,
It's not.
flat.
Could be worse though. Can always be worse. Clay.
But it'll be more scenic when it's worse.
Yes, that is true.
Hour and a half. More than 5 kilometers in. Okay, campground is this way. Here's the lake. Oh, the Lyell ice fall. Damn, it is fucking dry. About to get on the move again. It's been about 3 hours since we left. We're going around the north side, Glacier Lake. Decent height above the lake here. That is where we came from. There is an extremely tasty rock here. Everyone seems to love it. Tastes good, fellas? Looks like it does. Well, there was a fire here. I don't remember seeing this last time. So, I don't know if this is a new development or something, but looks pretty shitty. Back end of Glacier Lake. Oh, Lyell icefall and Forbes back there. See, now this thing, last time, these things were completely submerged. It was like a whole, my God, a whole big deal to cross. But now it's so easy. You don't even need to put on our water shoes. It's fucking amazing. Well, this is where we're headed now. What in the flying fuck is this fucker?
What are you looking at?
I don't even know.
What? Let me see.
It's fucking crazy. It's like a bee, but like not. Oh no, where'd it go? Trail's really good. So far, of course. Here is Glacier River. At some point we're gonna have to cross this. Big river. Kind of nice, but color is pretty shit. The deadfall section of the trail before it before it this sucks. Oh, I hate going under logs. Here's Kayla. This part is very familiar. Well, still going that way. We've gone 10 miles now, so 16 kilometers. And it's going pretty good. Pretty sure that it's safe to say we have passed through the marsh without actually getting our feet wet. This is where we are. Another back break. We've been going for 6 hours. Getting a good view up towards the Lyell Icefall. The trail here is a tad overgrown. Well, the trail continues to impress with its near vanishing ability. Been bushwhacking the last little bit. Hasn't been too much fun. In our weakest moment on the first day, we see it. Mount Forbes.
It's beautiful.
Don't let Sid near it. Coming up on the lake that the Glacier River is fed by. We're set up at camp. It's a nice camp spot. We're heading up that way to tomorrow. There's Rosita Mount Rosita in the background. The sun is now behind the ice fall, and you can see the ice fall a lot better now. It's 9:01. Kayla and I are about to get into the tent to watch some Vinland Saga and then go to sleep. Kayla, what did you think about day one?
I think it was better than last time. Same pace, Koi says, but this time we were deliberately slow. It wasn't just bad, yeah.
Yeah, I think we were much less panicked
Better route finding.
than last time. And yeah, we didn't even have to like take our
Feeties.
shoes to put, we didn't have to put on the water shoes to do the whole swamp thing. And
There was that fire section though.
oh yeah, that sucked. Aside from the very end where we decided to stick close to the river instead of where that kind of trail disappeared, I think we made pretty good decisions.
We should
And
have gone into the foresty forest.
maybe, I don't really know. And yeah, I think tomorrow will be, it won't be great, but I think it might not be awful.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We were on pace with our previous attempt after the first day, though we were prepared for a long 4 days and we took our time, making sure we had slow movement and lots of breaks, which meant that we were feeling good about our route finding this time around. The approach was going well, but we knew that the second day would showcase the nastiest parts of the trip, starting with a large river crossing, followed by bushwhacking and navigation through moraines. We knew we couldn't go fast and burn out before our summit attempt, but we also wanted to make sure that we got to camp at a reasonable time.
6:13 a.m. July 1st, 2023, year 4 of the COVID. There has been a slight rain for the last hour and a bit, which kind of sucks. And we have to do a river crossing right at the start, so that sucks. It sucks. 6:56, and we are going again. Oh, this is a spot. See if this works. I think it's gonna be fine, actually. It is fucking cold though. Cut more to the left. This way, Kayla. Here she goes. Super cold.
Here goes Koi. He's crossing part of the river. This is the easier part, although in general it wasn't that bad.
I would like not go in the water if possible. All right, last channel. Whoa. Still below knee, but a bit slippery at the start. Oh man, it's cold. Well, the uphill battle has begun. Lake of the Glacier River, pretty reflective. We're gonna have to try to go up this hump somehow, we think. Light drizzle going, but the sun is out. Well, we just heard a big thunder and saw a lightning flash. We have 100 down in the tarp. Rain is not fantastic. The cloud has passed over us now, and we are on the move again. We have found the trail, so this should help us out a little bit. Trail's gone into the straight up really wet bushwhacking now. Lyell Icefall, looking very nice. This is the White Rock Band, which we go around to the left. There's Glacier Lake, looks pretty dope. And we get to go up there. Particularly dense section. I am sitting right beside the rock. Kayla is going to access the rock.
I'm so excited.
Pretty cool shot. Looks like she'll just fall to her death if she makes one wrong move. She will fall, of course, but she won't fall. I mean, she would, of course, get very injured if she fell, but probably won't to her death. And she probably won't fall, so there's that too. All sorts of loose, shitty rock. Nice canyon there. We found a path, so this should ease the ascent. Been going not quite 3 hours. Getting 300 meters from the valley bottom. Winning! Lyell Icefield visible once again. you can start to see onto Mons ice field, I believe. And so we are now cooking our hot cereal on the moraine. We are once again into the bush. Holy shit. But this time it's dry bush. Nice view of Mount Forbes.
You can see it?
Yeah, this might actually be the toughest bushwhacking I've done. But at least you can see the not so easy looking Mount Forbes. Picked up a bit of a trail, so that's nice.
Koi with the mountain. Good views.
Wow. Crazy glacial erosion heaven. Not really sure where these cairns are leading us, but I keep saying to come around this way, so might as well see what happens. Mons Peak and the Mons ice field. We will have to cross the toe of the Mons ice field probably. And then there's Mount Forbes, our ultimate objective. Okay, we found a lake, bit of silt. Here's the Mons ice field with some mighty chunks of ice broken off. This is basically the one kind of difficult section, getting across this proglacial lake. We're around the bullshit.
It's Koi just in front of me on the Mons.
Looks like we actually have run into a bit of a crevasse section. Just gonna be going over it though, or I mean up above it, so it shouldn't be too bad. We're doing much better than last time. Making our way towards the Forbes drainage. We've just been going up more shit moraine. We're down by those lakes not so long ago. The brown one? Yeah. Parents just asked how things were going. They asked if the glacier is safe. Well,
Yes.
it's completely dry, so
Very, very safe.
it'll only be safe if we're really bad at walking where we think we're gonna walk.
Really unsafe.
That's a view. So close, and yet still kind of a little bit far. Here's Kayla. We're getting pretty tired now. Been going 7 hours, 45 minutes. And we are getting closer, but it's just taking a very long time. This is the camp spot. Gonna be interesting climbing Forbes tomorrow. All right, we have our temporary cooking shelter set up, and we're having our late lunch, which will transition into probably an early dinner. 7:26 p.m. All right, we're going to bed soon. It's like 7:27 p.m. and it's expected to storm through the night.
The second day was longer than we would have hoped, but we still made it to camp at a reasonable time and had plenty of time to cook food and get a lot of sleep before what would surely be the most technical climb we had done to date. The glacier was quite dry, meaning an open serac field, and the face of the mountain looked to have patches of snow and patches of ice. With some shitty weather coming in, we were quite apprehensive about the following day.
2:46 a.m. Rain is supposed to be finishing at 3. It's been storming the whole night, some thundering too. And let's see. Oh yeah, some snow pellets. Still got clouds. I guess it's just snowing now. 4:02 a.m. Kayla and I just crossed the outlet stream from the lake below the North Forbes Glacier. We're going to get going now. There are still clouds hanging about, but they've mostly cleared and it's not really raining anymore. Not yet 5. There's Mons Peak. There's the Lyells. Kayla and I have just basically finished roping up and we're going to start on the glacier. Okay. Oh. Kayla with the Lyell and Mons ice fields. Well, scenery continues to impress. We're gonna have to figure out how we navigate through this ice fall though. Whew. Ice coming off Rosita looks really nice. Well, the ice fall is basically here, just as we're starting to get alpenglow on the clouds to the Lyells. Alright, really nice alpenglow on Forbes and Rosita, Mons, and the Lyells. Wow, alpenglow on Rosita is just incredibly bright. Well, getting to the complicated part now. Hopefully this is navigatable. Oh boy. I don't know if this works. Good job. I think I'm gonna get my ice axes out. Looks like things are heating up. Ice fall. Well, this looks nice, but we think we need to be over there, so we're gonna go down a bit. Oh god, I don't know if this is good. Descended a long ways and we're kind of past all these difficult Siraki bits, so we're gonna head more to the left now to try to get around them. Alright, plan number 2 doesn't exactly seem to be a cakewalk. Alright, attempt 2 to make it past the ice fall. This doesn't look too bad so far. We don't want to turn back too early. That looks like the Columbia ice field over there. I think you just have to connect actually feels good to have the rope. Looks like we could have came up that way though. Okay, there. All right, we made it past the difficult ice fall section now, and we have about 800 meters left to the top of that thing. Here is a very sizable crevasse, which we are walking around. Really hot with the sun. Kayla with impressive views to the north. It's not going to be easy, but at least we're making good time so far. All right, 7:12 a.m. Kayla and I are standing about 600 meters below the summit of Mount Forbes. We are right below its north face. The slope is steepening and elevation is being gained. Some crevasses here that we'll have to worry about a bit. Well, I almost fell into a crevasse getting over the stuff there, about 500 meters below the summit, probably a bit less. Views are excellent. The slope is really steep. Views west, pretty spectacular. Moving on a steep traverse. Snow quality is really good right now. Almost onto the west ridge now. Forgot to mention, we're at 11,000 feet. So 800-ish feet to go. It's really cold up here. Well, there's a fucking cloud here, which is pretty annoying. Butterfly knots keep getting caught on the rocks. You can see Glacier Lake all the way down there. That's incredible. Wow.
Wow.
We actually did it.
We actually did it.
It's crazy.
I almost can't believe it.
6 hours from camp on the descent now. Didn't really get view of that at the summit too much.
On our way down.
Yes, we are on our way down. And it is good to know that we are more than halfway done this trip. Kayla has a blister situation.
This is the first time.
The situation being that her blister has popped.
I've never had blisters from these boots before. What the shit?
It is finally heating up a bit. Maybe it's even warm enough for the GoPro to stay out. Ready for this bullshit. we're still on the easy-ish part to ascend. Easy bits are. Good job. This part actually looks pretty simple. About to enter onto the very steep north face of the mountain. Traversing across. We are at a very steep portion. Good job. You okay? Back. Whoa! Yeah. Well, we've almost met back up with our previous tracks over there. This one is sizable. Good job.
Hard. That thing.
Here's Kayla with Forbes. And we got Rosita. A bunch of. This is a sizable crevasse. It's pretty deep too. Say the snow bridge.
Well, we're about to head into the ice fall-y bit.
It's just over here. Well, I guess this is it. The hard part. Alright. Yeah. This way. Okay. Well, I guess we went over last time. That's okay. You can also come this way and then go down here if you want. Just follow the, like over there and then there. Just follow the tracks. What do we do? We come across here. Oh no, we would have went. Ponds or whatever. With that, we have basically done it. It kind of looks level. I'm gonna take a picture of you here too. Staying down on the nice bare ice. It is just a very long, steady slope down. Starting to get a bit steeper. We're seeing more crevasses. Still unsure how we're gonna get off this thing exactly. Well, it really hasn't been too bad. This is a moulin, I guess.
Now we are off the glacier, unroped, just about packed up. We're gonna go fill up some waters and head to our camp, eat, rest, see about going out a little ways.
Alright. Did all the de-roping and shit. It's been 10 hours since we crossed the initial creek. Well, all this stuff used to be underneath the glacier. Maybe not these rocks on top, but bedrock for sure. Oh, chilly breeze.
After making it back to camp, we would rest up a bit and move camp a bit lower so that we would have less work to do the following day. Despite this, the day out proved to be a long haul.
Alright, Kayla and I have packed up our camp and we're gonna try to head to the camp near the some lakes near the bottom of the Mons ice field. 4:05 p.m. and we're on the move again. Well, in terms of understanding where we are completely lost. I mean, I know we have to go down somehow, but it is unclear how we do that. Somehow we just keep getting lower, even though we suspect to be cliffed out at every new thing. Water. Not sure where Kayla's going. Alright, we are going to take a shortcut to the glacier over there.
Alright, Coy just got on the Mons. This is what we did to get around the first time.
Well, it is 7:22 p.m. and we are about to head into the tent to watch some Vinland Saga, eat some corn nuts, and eventually go to bed. Early morning before 6 a.m. July 3rd, 2023, year before the COVID, and Kayla and I are about to get going just as we're gonna start getting some alpenglow here. Should be a long, brutal day.
Alright, we've packed up our camp and we're getting ready to go. It's gonna be a long, slow day. And we're both super excited to get to the car and then to get home after that.
Mons. Forbes and Rosita. Just took a minute to delayer. You can see the way out, all the way, I think where that river is, beyond the bump. It's a long way to go. Here's Forbes. There is Glacier Lake. You have to make it there in many hours. Kayla on the final kind of exposed section. What a shot. Truly beautiful area. Very hard to see where you step, Kayla. Just grab a bunch of bushes. Back to the moraine crest. An hour and a half since our start, which was exactly on schedule.
Coy on the moraine thingy. Moraine crest.
It does get a bit narrow at sections. Hopefully we're bushwhacking.
I can't believe you're saying that.
Alright, the Lyell ice field is back in business now. Just went through this bush, and now we will continue on along the top of this ridge thing till we hit a trail. Here's Kayla. The terrain is steepening, so we should be coming up a trail pretty soon. Made it back to the trail. The lake below the Lyell Icefall is nice and calm, has some reflection. Kayla on a good trail. Maybe not a good trail, but it is a trail.
There goes Coy crossing.
although still very chilly. Just took a nice break, ate some hot cereal. It's been a bit more than 4 hours since we left camp, and we're now on to the really fun bushwhack near the river section. Well, we're trying to find the trail. On a trail now, clearly. Indian paintbrush and fireweed. Been going about 5 hours 15 minutes from camp, making good progress. This is just a very grueling walk.
Well, we've made it to the swamp, and it's a lot swampier than on our way in.
All right. Well, this is the channel we would have to cross, and that is going to be a pretty easy one. For fuck's sake.
Here's Koi going under the first log. We are at the log section.
Into the fire section now. Wise to what?
Do what you did well.
Maybe.
Koi and I are enjoying a hot meal at the Glacier Lake campground. Not a bad view though.
We just had a lunch. Oh, this has 3% battery left. Yeah, we're at the Glacier Lake campground, and very tired.
All right, we've made it to the red chairs, and we are now going to sit at the red chairs.
5:12 p.m. and we have made it to the red chairs, which means we are 2 kilometers away. Never sat in these things before.
It's a good feeling.
Oh, this is really nice.
Oh yeah, we're pretty much back at the car. This is the shit. Fuck yeah.
Well, we're back now. What are your thoughts on the mountain?
Man, like the actual route, very, very, very cool. I still can't believe we did it. I know that you were saying when you got to the top, you're like, okay. But for me, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe we did it. And the approach was pretty horrible, and I feel really bad for you.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. This mountain is like, there's always something you have to like think about and worry about. There's just like so many different challenges all along the approach, all along the ascent. The whole thing is just very hard.
Yep.
But I guess we did it. Didn't think we were gonna do it the night before.
Definitely
with
not.
Dad getting in our head and all,
And the
but
weather.
yeah, and the weather was not good. But
I was like, there's no way.
yeah, then didn't think we would do it again once we
Woke up.
failed the Serac field the first time.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think once I got to the face, I thought, we'll do it. It's just not gonna be easy. And then we did, and then I don't even know how we got out, but here we are, and we have ketchup chips, so
Everything's good.
yeah, basically. Standing steps below the summit of Mount Forbes, I couldn't help but think that the mountain didn't look as impressive or difficult from that angle. It looked really close. All we had to do was walk a bit further, and it would be time to head down soon. There was no overwhelming feeling of disbelief that we had made it. No feeling of accomplishment that we had climbed something harder than anything we had climbed before. And that isn't anything strange. I knew after my Gannet and Bonnet trips that I wouldn't feel any accomplishment from climbing Forbes. The final push to the summit was just another few minutes during the trip. There wasn't anything particularly special about it. And as strange as it sounds, this trip was about the journey, not the destination. On paper, the destination is kick-ass. The highest mountain entirely in Banff National Park, nearly 50 kilometers from the closest higher summit, rising more than 2,000 meters above the valley below, and resting a good 300 meters above the highest surrounding peak. Mount Forbes can be seen from many other mountains, and its shark-tooth shape is a truly magnificent sight to behold. Towering above the surrounding peaks far into the backcountry also means that the view from Mount Forbes is on another level of awesome. The destination certainly has a strong allure, which is in part responsible for our interest in the mountain to begin with. On the other hand, the journey, though epic, is also brutal. 9 kilometers on a boring trail through forest, another 3.5 trudging along lake on unmaintained trail, 7 or so trying to stay on trail as you go through sometimes dense bush and swamp, a large river crossing, a nasty bushwhack, loose side-hilling, and more nasty bushwhacking just to get into the good stuff. From there is navigation through the labyrinth of moraine and bedrock, traversal around a proglacial lake to avoid a deep creek crossing, more navigation through moraine and old glacier bed, a heavily seracked glacier, a sea of hidden crevasses, 40-ish degree hard snow and ice, snow-covered loose shale, and finally, the corniced ridge to the summit. Climbing Mount Forbes means that there is always another obstacle ahead of you that you must overcome. And somewhere in that bombardment of obstacles that we were faced with lay the final steps to the summit, one of the most spectacular summits in the Canadian Rockies. But that didn't mean anything to me. Mount Forbes brought up insight to a very interesting question. What is freedom? Not freedom in the physical sense, being able to go where you want and do what you want. I mean freedom in the mental sense. Knowing that what you are doing is because you want to do it, not because you are trying to impress your friends, not because you have an image of yourself which you want to maintain or fulfill, just doing something because you enjoy it. At the onset of our attempt of Mount Forbes, I would expect most of the route to be typically classified as Type 2 fun. Activity which is not actually fun while it is happening, but it is fun to look back at when it's over. To me, Type 2 fun can often walk a line of appeasing your self-identity. Doing something that you think sounds cool, with the primary benefit of doing it being to construct a specific image of yourself, which gives you confidence or pride or something along those lines. This was of concern to me. After climbing Gannet Peak and doing the trip to the Bonnet Glacier, I was ready to transition away from the more difficult climbing and into more exploratory trips. Long backpacking trips which still go off trail, but where you can more intimately explore a mountain range or area or region of a mountain range which is less traveled. This is what I thought I was interested in after the summer of 2022. I didn't need to prove what I was capable of anymore. But when time would not permit one of these trips and the opportunity of a 4-day trip arose in the summer of 2023, I was once again interested in climbing Mount Forbes. But why? Was this truly going to be something I enjoyed? Or was I trying to do something that sounded cool and associated with my identity? How could I be sure that I was mentally free? Well, climbing Mount Forbes gave me that answer. I stood steps below the summit and treated it like any other steps of the trip. The view was perhaps better than most of the trip, but aside from that, there was nothing significant about those final steps to the summit. Disassociating the glory of the trip with the actual point we went to is proof enough to me that I was there for the experience, for the journey. And though that journey did have sections which would be classified as not fun, or type 2 fun, for the most part, the journey was fantastic. There was a variety of terrain, some of which dissimilar to what I was used to, and there was almost always something to appreciate about the places that we found ourselves in. I was simply out there trying to soak up and enjoy every moment I had in a sublime corner of the world. And that is what really drove me to go back to Forbes. This was ultimately an intimate exploration of a region of a mountain range. It was just a little bit harder than what I had pictured the year prior. On paper, we had our destination in mind, and that was the purpose of the trip. But that was not what gave the trip meaning. It was all the small moments of wonder and amazement, living in a special moment, and perhaps unknowingly, understanding that I was free.
Well, it really hasn't been too bad. Actually, pretty good.